What up, reefing peeps? It's Travis from Psywar Reefing. In this video, I build the aquascape for my new tank, I get a theme going, and I get the new tank wet. So here it is, full of promise and potential. Let's get to work. The first thing I needed to do was build a rough model of the tank out of cardboard. This way, I can design an aquascape that'll work and fit in the tank. I even drew in the returns so I would know where they were. Now, it was time for some rock. I had 2 5-gallon buckets of dry rock to choose from. These have been sitting around in my garage just collecting dust. So, here's where the first controversial part comes in. After some research and some soul searching, I decided to bond my aquascape with hydraulic cement. Now, I know some of you are going to freak out, but let me explain. I did my research and I know the major risks involved, and I'm willing to give this a shot as an experiment. I found out that after about 6 months to a year, it can become brittle and start to crumble. I also read about instances where certain metals and chemicals are used in the material. In order to mitigate these problems, I did the following. First, for the cracking and crumbling, my thought process was that this person must have applied the hydraulic cement too thin. Even I experienced this while I was building my scape. The trick is to really glob it on there thick. This stuff cures incredibly fast. I mean seriously fast. After just a few minutes, it's solid. After I applied the cement to the joints, I stippled the cement with small rubble rock just to add texture and remove my fingerprints. As far as the metals and the chemicals in the compound, after I was done building the scape, I allowed it to cure for more than a week. My thought on this that it would allow the cement to cure fully and off gas. My intent is to do a Triton test after a few months to check the levels and to see if there's any unintended consequences of using this cement to build my scape. Keep in mind, I fully understand that this could fail horribly, but I'm willing to give it a shot, not just for me, but as an experiment and to document it on the channel. So, we'll see what happens. In the end, I was really happy with the scape. Now, to add the second controversial piece to this scape. If you haven't noticed in some of my past videos, I'm a bit of a Star Wars fan. Don't even get me started on The Last Jedi. It went against almost all the lore. In an effort to make this tank stand out from the 55 that it's going to sit right next to, I decided to give it a Star Wars theme. I purchased 2 models, an X-Wing and a TIE Fighter. First, I put them together with super glue. Then, I gave them some battle damage. The intent is to make it look like there was an aerial dogfight above some watery planet, and these 2 were shot down and sank to the bottom of the depths after their pilots ejected. Now, again, I did some research on using these kinds of plastics in a reef tank, and again, I fully understand this could blow up in my face. But I wanted to at least give it a try and bring you all along for the ride. From what I've read, some of the side effects of using these things in a tank can be excessive diatoms and also leaching. So again, I'm going to keep an eye on this tank with the Triton test. Now, it was time to put everything in the tank. I added the sand next. And finally, the water. Well, here it is. After a few weeks and a small diatom bloom, the tank is looking good. I'll start checking the tank's parameters while I wait for it to cycle. Until then, it'll just sit here and look awesome. If you like what you saw, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and if you want to see the next video where I add livestock to this tank, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. Believe me, it's going to be epic. Until then, stay salty, Reef and Peeps.